Hi everyone, welcome to Auburn Yoga and Pilates. We're going to do a combination Pilates and yoga class today. We're going to be using a stability ball for the Pilates portion. If you have one, grab it. Sometimes if you have another balance device, you can use that instead. And we'll be using the wall for the yoga portion. So if you can set yourself up near a free wall, that would be great. Okay, so we'll get started. So we'll take that stability ball, and of course you can do this right on the floor if you don't have a stability ball, and walk yourself forward. Now, you want to try to position yourself so that your feet are on a non-slide surface. So I've got my feet on my mat here, hands are behind my head, and we'll start off with some abdominal crunches. So obviously, the stability ball gives you a bigger range of motion. So it's not that these aren't effective on the floor, they're just a little bit more effective on the ball. Now we're going to pulse up at the top for 3. So just hold 3, 2, 1, come down. 3, 2, 1, come down. And keep that going. 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to twist from side to side. So twisting side to side. So working those obliques. You want to try to lead with the shoulder rather than with your elbow. Now hold it over to one side and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and switch. So, I don't know about anyone else, but I haven't been on a stability ball in a while. And even though switch, I've been regularly exercising. You've all seen me here on the videos. I can really feel this. And switch, it feels like I haven't been on the stability ball in much longer than weeks. 2, 1. Now lift to the center, come up for 2. Lift, lift, drop, drop. Again, up, up, down, down. So try to make this movement nice and fluid. Try to keep those elbows out to the side as much as possible. Now we're going to add a little bit of a challenge. We're going to come up one, extend the arms back, reach back, come in, come down. So, reaching the arms back basically changes the lever length. So you go from a short lever with those arms to a long lever with those arms. So that makes it more challenging. You're bringing the center of gravity a little bit further away from the midline. Now it's key to try, when you extend those arms back, to really extend them back, arms by the ears, rather than up or forward, because then you're not bringing the center of gravity as far back. And then back to singles, lift and drop. So I forgot to mention that if your feet are wider, it's a little easier, you have a more stable base. If your feet are more narrow, it's a little more challenging. I have mine about hip distance apart, so I'm right about in the middle. Now, reach those arms by those ears in a lift. Same thing, bringing that center of gravity back. Four more. And holding it here. Okay. Hopefully it feels like you woke up those abdominals. Now, walking those feet and looking at the camera, I'm just going to have to do a little adjusting myself so that I stay in the angle of the camera. But you're going to want to walk those feet forward. So for all of you, you can probably just do that. You can walk from that middle back on the ball into head and shoulders on the ball. So same thing, you choose a good distance for your feet. Now, trying to bring your hips up so that they're relatively close to being between your knees and your hips, and that you're trying to get your spine and your femurs, those thigh bones, as parallel to the floor as you can. So again, head and shoulders comfortably resting on the ball. You can hold those arms up, or some of you may need to place those fingers on the floor because this is a balance challenge. Drop and lift those hips. And pulse 3. 3, 2, 1, drop down. 3, 2, 1. So your ankles are very close to being directly under your knees. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And 3, 2, 1. Now, coming down off of that ball, and this is what we'll use the wall for. So you want to take the ball out to the side, and you want to place your feet on the wall. Now, modified, you're going to stay in a kneeling position for this one, and come out to here. So that's modified. If you're able to, you're going to press your outer hip into the ball and lengthen those legs so that you're side lying on the ball. Now, you could stack your feet. A little bit more of a balance challenge because you have more of a narrow base. If you're able to, or if you're not able to comfortably stack, I should say, stagger your feet, one in front of the other. It'll create more stability for you. Now, you're pretty two-dimensional, except for your feet, a little wider on the plane there. Take your hands into an abdominal-like position and use your side body to lift. So lift and drop. So it may take you a couple tries to get into a place where you can actually stay on this ball. It is not unusual when we do this in class at the studio that people have to adjust, hold it up and pulse several times. because maintaining balance here is harder than it looks. And lift and drop. This time, hold it up and pulse. And we're going to come up and twist. So come up, twist, and come back down. Come up, twist. So as you twist, you're actually dropping that upper shoulder forward. Last one, hold it down. Now, modified, you can keep your hands behind your head. More advanced, you can take those arms and reach them by your ears as long as you can. We're going to come up and we're going to try to hold for a count of 8. So whenever you're ready, coming up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. And then trying that very same thing one more time. So coming up and holding for a count of 8, trying to get your arms as long as possible and as close to your ears as possible. Coming up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down. Now taking that upper arm by your ear, grabbing hold of that wrist, coming into a nice side body stretch. So the problem is that without switching the camera all around, which would be a big production, you cannot see me do the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this side again, but you want to actually switch sides. So from here, lifting and dropping. I'm definitely going to have to do double on the other side after because I will be uneven. Hold it up and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to singles. I can definitely tell that my range of motion has shortened as this side is definitely getting fatigued since I'm doing it twice. Hold it up, pulse. Now come up and twist. Up, twist. Twist. Last one, coming down. So again, this time we're going to come up, lengthen those arms as much as possible, and hold. So really, lots of work for that torso. Abs, back, waist, all of it. Coming up, hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. And then trying it one more time. Coming up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming down. Whew, okay. Coming off that ball and coming into a supine position. I'm actually going to face this way so that hopefully you can better see what's going on with the ball. So from here, just grounding your feet, bending your legs, and starting off with just some abdominal crunches where we're going to roll the ball up our thighs to our knees. So lift. Now some of you may be able to get it higher. You may be able to get it to the very top of your knees. Some of you it may be smaller. Some of you may need to eventually end up supporting your head. You want the abdominals to do the work, but let's face it, they may be fatigued, so they may need a little assistance, a little bit of support. Now hold it up, pulse. And then dropping it down. Now, taking those legs up, and you want to get them as long as possible. So if you have tight hamstrings, this will be tricky for you. And hopefully the yoga portion will help. We'll do a few hamstring stretches. Now, taking that ball and you're going to lightly toss it. Oops, hold on. And catch it between your legs. So taking that ball and little light touch. Big squeeze, little throw. So you want to think about primarily engaging your inner thighs to catch that ball. Hold it up. Squeeze that ball in and out. Again, make the movement come from the thighs. Now I recognize it looks like I'm barely moving, but I promise that I'm getting a nice big contraction through those inner thighs. So big squeeze. Squeeze. And pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now from here, you can put your arms by your side, palms facing down, or you can reach those arms straight up. Circle those legs around one way, and then the other way. Now, try to stabilize your rib cage. So try to make it so the rib cage isn't moving. Hips will move. You can make the circle large, or you can make the circle small. Hold it here. Now, head can stay down, arms can stay down, or you can do long neck, tuck chin, elbows out to the side, leg drops for 8. Squeezing that ball in. 7, 6, 5, 4, 1. And legs should be thankful that they're dropping down. So if they started to shake a little at the end, as long as there's no pain, that's just muscle fatigue. It happens to me. Okay, so I think that you can see the ball well enough at this angle, I'm hoping, for basically what we're going to do here as our last one. This one can be tricky. You really give that ball a good hug, and lift it off the floor. Now, although this isn't the part where we do the work, this alone can be tricky. Arms come down by your side and do little teeny lifts with those hips. So you may not even be seeing the lift. I recognize this isn't the best angle. Or it may be just a mini lift. It could just be a squeeze. Maybe there's no lifting involved. 4 more. Last one. Whew, dropping it down. And taking those legs out. Okay, so I know I said that'd be the last one. Yeah, we're at 21 minutes. We'll do just literally one set of bridges. Now modified, bend your legs, press your feet into the ball. Or, if you'd like, since we're only doing one set, extend those legs, lift those heels into the ball. You can keep your arms down if you feel like you're going to need the stability. This is a stability challenge. We're going to lift our hips and drop our hips. If you'd like, you can reach those arms up. You can see that if, and even when, you totally focus, there could be a little sway from side to side. So, 4 more. 3 more. 2. Last one. Whew, dropping it down. And taking those knees into your chest. Okay, so we will do a couple stretches here, and then we'll do a couple of yoga poses. Since I promised we'd do a few with the wall, we'll do some balance and strength challenges today. So, taking that right knee into the chest, lengthening that left leg. And then bringing that leg in and trying the same thing on the other side. Left knee comes into the chest, right leg extends. And taking both feet in, taking both knees out to the side. Just a little inner thigh and hip release. And then bringing those legs together and rolling over to your side, coming up into a kneeling position. So we will come into an all fours position. Okay, I think it'll stay away this time. Ball may come rolling back, no guarantees. So from here, you want to line up those wrist creases so that they're parallel to the short end of the mat. Move between some cat and cows. and then hold a neutral spine. Walk your hands out so that they are slightly ahead of your shoulders, and then curl those toes under, lift those knees and hips. Press back into downward facing dog. Really trying to lengthen your spine and trying to do that by pressing down through your fingertips and through your knuckles. And if you'd like, pedal those heels. So you are thinking about lengthening one leg as you soften the other. Try to keep the integrity through your arms and your torso. And then come down into an all-fours position and allow those hips to drop back toward those heels. Stretching those arms out in front. Getting heavy in those hips, finding a little stretch in that very low back near that sacrum. So allow your sitting bones to move toward the heels of your feet. And then coming up into an all-fours position, taking a giant step forward with one foot, lifting the back knee, stepping forward with the other foot. Heart forward, head forward, fold forward. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Exhale, bring those arms down. So we'll come into a couple of sun salutations before we go into our wall balances. As you know, the yoga time is shortened since this is a combo class. So inhaling those arms up, exhaling those arms down, heart forward, head forward, lengthen that spine, fold forward, step to plank, lower to the floor or to chaturanga, point the toes to the back, and come up to up dog. And now press back, down dog. Holding down dog. Lift to the balls of your feet. Step or hop, feet forward. Heart forward, head forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Trying that again. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Heart forward, head forward. Fold forward. Come to plank. Lower to the floor or to chaturanga. Lift. Up dog. Press back. Down dog. Now, lifting up to the balls of your feet, stepping or hopping those feet forward, going through 2 more rounds of Surya Namaskar A at your own pace. We'll meet in a standing pose after. You can immediately go into a standing pose and hang out there. You can come through 1 round of sun salutations. It is entirely up to you. Just getting that body moving. And if we're going to go into those wall balances soon, you want to make sure that your body is relatively warm. So plank or knee down plank is the modification. cobra or up dog, and then down dog. Lift to the balls of the feet. Eventually, meeting in that mountain pose. So, you want to grab hold of something that's going to allow you to mark your spot. I am going to use a traditional yoga belt. You can use a block, you can use a pillow, you can use a shoe. Anything will work. But what we're going to do is we're going to measure from our feet to our sitting bones. And you want to be precise. You don't want it at the back of your hips. You don't want it anywhere along your thigh. You want to mark exactly where your sitting bones land. And that's going to be your spot. So if, for instance, you just have your bottle of water, you can put that to mark your spot beside your hips. But something to mark your spot. Then we're going to stand up. And you're going to position your hip joint right over that spot. So I thought this was going to be a good camera angle. I probably should have gone a little bit more to the side, but I think you'll get the idea. Live and learn. So from here, you're going to do the best you can to take one leg at the wall. And unfortunately, I have molding in this room that is interfering. Hopefully your wall is flat. Because if I put my foot over the molding, that's not the right height for me. My leg ends up to be too high. So I'm going to put it here. And also, I will admit, the molding is a little bit of a cheat for me. So again, hopefully you're on a flat wall. Now what tends to happen is this hip wants to hike up. Try to drop the hip down so that you have a nice long waist. Try to position your shoulders directly over your hips. The tendency is to hinge forward because this is a precarious position. And then, if you're able to, reach those arms up by your ears. Now, as far as the bottom foot, the toes should be pointing straight ahead rather than out to the side. And we're going to twist toward that bent leg. Now, modified, you can put your hand on your hip and just reach the arm forward. You're trying to spiral your ribs towards your side wall. Lots of work to do this. I know how challenging it is. One thing that you can do as a modification is you can take a chair and you can put the back of the chair up against the wall, and then you've created your own molding. You've basically got your own modification there. So let's see, very impromptu. I'm going to try, I don't know if this will make it better or worse. I may end up adjusting again. Probably a little bit worse. So as I do this and play with the camera, take that other leg up the wall. So same thing, place your hip joint right over that marker and take that leg up the wall. Bottom toes pointing forward, right? Even oak trees have some sway in them. So don't feel bad about a little bit of sway. It is challenging to stay here. And then reach those arms up when you can. Really trying to lengthen those arms. And then twisting. Extend the back arm or keep it bent. Spiraling those ribs and lifting up through the top of the head. You're pressing the foot into the wall and into the floor with equal enthusiasm. Come back to center and taking that down and shaking that out. So those of you who've taken yoga at the studio know there's a whole series that we do at the wall, but due to the short time frame, we'll start off with just that little tidbit. Okay, so coming up, inhaling, sweeping those arms up, exhale, sweeping those arms down. Inhale, heart forward, head forward, exhale, fold forward. Step to a knee down position and coming into a seated position. Now you can most certainly sit on a blanket or a pillow if that helps. We'll start off taking those legs wide, keeping those knees pointing up to the ceiling, folding forward. So while you're here, taking a really big exhale and really trying to release any tension or tightness that you might be holding on to. And then bringing the bottom of those feet together. And once again, allowing yourself to flex that spine. As you allow your head to drop in the direction of your feet. And coming up. So we focused on stretching those hamstrings a little. Maybe you'll be able to grab hold of, I guess I should do this side first to mirror you, your right big toe mound. You can do that yogi big toe clasp, index and middle finger around that big toe. You can kind of just grab that general area and lengthen that leg out to the side. Lift and lengthen through the spine. Don't collapse down through the spine. Stay long. Drop it down. Switch sides. Same thing. Grab that big toe mound. And extend. Lift, lift, lift. Being as tall as you can be. and dropping it down. Now, speaking of things that I haven't done for a few weeks, like the stability ball a little bit earlier, you may or may not want to attempt to try to lift both legs. So this is actually a variation of a Pilates move. This would be the top of an open leg rocker, a little wider than we would do in an open leg rocker. But coming back, balancing on the back of those sitting bones and extending those legs. So it's an option, trying to lengthen that spine. And dropping that down, circling that spine. So I don't know how you feel, but I always feel like these combination classes just fly by. So Jane, we've been keeping the online classes 45 minutes or so. And believe it or not, we are at 42 minutes already. So good job, those of you who stuck with it or are doing it on replay. Holding it here, stretching over to the side. Some sort of lateral stretch. You can do a small one or a larger one. And coming up and switching sides, same thing. And coming up, and then coming into a place for final relaxation. We'll do a little shorter final relaxation than we normally do. Extending those legs, and again, you may want to prop your feet onto a blanket or a pillow, or you may want to put something under your knees if it's too challenging to fully extend. Ideally, your arms are by your side with your palms upward facing. You want to try to get to the point where coming into final relaxation feels more and more normal. The ease into which you transition from not being in final relaxation to being in final relaxation becomes easier and easier. It's to the point where it's almost seamless. Hopefully, if you become more at ease with that transition, it'll make the transition of going to sleep at night easier. That whole idea of really allowing your body to relax. To try to quiet your body and your mind. And that you start to gain some control over turning it on and turning it off. Being able to say, okay, monkey brain, thanks for the input. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Come back in 7 hours. So of course not doing that now, but building on those little mini strategies to be able to do it eventually. And then bending those legs, planting those feet, bringing movement back into your body. Rolling to your side, eventually coming into a seated position. Big breath in, big breath out. The light within me salutes the light within you. Namaste, take care everyone, see you soon. As usual, please comment. We really do appreciate it when we know that people are out there participating and watching. Please follow us on our YouTube channel, Auburn Yoga and Pilates, and please stay healthy. Take care.